Okay, so welcome everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joseph Wong. I'm a professor, in the political science department, and I hold what's called the Canada Research Chair on issues of health and development, and I also hold the Ralph and Roz Halbert Professorship of Innovation here at the Monk School. So there were a lot of different hats. And for the next month or so, I'll remain as the director of the Asian Institute before a new director is named. So I'd like to before we begin, actually, I'd like to introduce to you some key people. These are the people who basically run the Asian Institute, who essentially and very much so run the Asian Institute. Eileen Lam, she's the associate director. If you haven't met her already, you definitely will. She's a fantastic resource. Catherine McIver, equally fantastic resource. She runs all of our teaching programs and is the main person for contact with our students, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. And Rachel Ostep, who is the events coordinator. If you didn't know, the Asian Institute puts on about 150 events a year. I was actually just congratulating Rachel a few nights ago on how she's able to manage so many events and so many different kinds of events. And she does it fantastically efficiently and of high quality. So these are the three permanent staff people at the Asian Institute, and they are probably have their door open a little too much, but their doors are always open, and I know that they would welcome your visit and your input and opportunities for you to get some feedback. They're real professionals. I'll introduce Karash at the conclusion of some opening remarks I'm going to make. Karash is going to then work with you in terms of some of the ideas that he has and indeed some of the ideas that he's pursued and get you set up in terms of talking about some of these big ideas. So by way of background, this competition is a result of a very generous gift from an anonymous donor. But this gift has been named after Richard Charles Lee, who happens to be the late father of Vivian Poy, who was a former senator, entrepreneur, and indeed former chancellor of the University of Toronto, and a great friend of the university. And so one of the things that we did in terms of this gift was it's an endowment. So if you don't know what an endowment is usually a big multi-million-dollar gift from which we earn interest, right? So, there is a whole apparatus in the university. I'm not sure where they are, probably deep, deep underground, especially when markets go soft. But there is a whole crew of people at this university who just play with your money. And sometimes they'll get a 5% return, and when markets go bad, they'll get a 2% return. But that's essentially how a gift like that functions. So